Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor. I'm K.Foxx, and I'm sitting here next to Taimak. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Perfectly.
Thank goodness. I was going crazy trying to make sure, because I have a unique name as well, and I hate it when people butcher it. It's very, what is that? What does your name mean?
It means striking eagle. It was a name my father actually, he used to take care of a young kid, and I'm sorry, there's a buzzing going on.
You know.
But anyway, he used to take care of a kid. He never saw the kid again after he met my mother, and they moved out to different parts of the world. And he always had a place in his heart for this kid, and his name was actually Taimak.
Okay.
And he didn't remember the spelling, so he named me Taimak, T-A-I-M-A-K.
He put a remix on it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, the kid actually ended up being a judo champion. His name is Taimak Ono.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know who I'm sitting next to, I mean, I don't know why you would not, but you are mostly known for your role as Bruce Leroy in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Last Dragon. I kid you not, me and my brothers would sit around the TV trying to be Kung Fu stars. I mean, you inspired us into thinking that we could achieve that goal. And my brother, actually, he is a black belt. All three of my brothers studied Kung Fu, Jiu-Jitsu. Did I pronounce that right?
Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
Yeah, and all of that because of you.
Yeah, I hear that all the time, and it's just an honor to to do one film that impacted people so strongly and so intense. Wherever I go, I get that same reaction.
But you've actually been acting since you were, what, 10 years old? Or?
Well, I did some school plays, and when my parents, we traveled to Europe, and they always tend to pick me out of the crowd to do these things, and I didn't do a lot of stuff, but different school plays, a few, and I originally, when I was very, very little, I'll be around 3 or 4, I used to dance a lot, and they used to say, Taimak, dance. But then I was getting beat up by my brother and everyone else all the time, so
Wait, you were getting beat up?
When I was little, and then I really wanted to learn to defend myself. And
so is that why you started?
Well, my father put me into it because his best friend was a black belt champion.
Oh, wow.
And he had us, me and my brother, when we were very little, doing katas and all that stuff. And then eventually I got really into it after I saw Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay, so he inspired you.
Yeah, just like the film.
Okay, so how did that happen? Did you go to a casting? Did you have an agent? Did you just happen to come up upon the role?
Maybe The Last Dragon?
Yes,
well,
The Last Dragon.
I didn't. I just, I was kickboxing. I won a kickboxing title in New York. And my friends were seniors in high school. And when I became a senior, they were already out of school. And I just didn't see any future in kickboxing. There's no money in it, really. And I was like in that space, what to do.
How old were you at that time?
I was 18, going on 19. After the kickboxing title was there when I was 18.
Okay.
And then around 19 is when I heard about The Last Dragon, because everybody in the martial arts community was talking about it. It's just like now, looking for a black kid or a kid of color, Latino, whatever it may be, you're going to be like, to play a lead? He's supposed to be young, and like me, and everybody
and as skilled as you are.
Yeah, everybody was talking about it, and then at that time I was training with Ron Van Cleef, Shidoshi Ron Van Cleef, who is a well-known, accomplished martial artist across the world, and he's the oldest competitor ever compete in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He told me about the film as well, and he said, I can get a script. And then my mother knew someone that was involved with the film in the dance department, the late, great Lester Wilson.
Oh, wow.
And they ended up saying, we can send you to the casting office and you could audition. So I went up into the casting office and auditioned, but the thing was, I never had any formal acting experience, so I didn't know the process of how to do a cold reading, how to break down a script and so forth. So when I went in there, they said, hello, how you doing? And have a seat, I'll be right with you. And then I sat there for like 5-10 minutes, and they had me come in. His name was Jeremy Ritzer, and he gave me what they call sides, which is only a piece of the script.
So what piece of the script did you have to read?
Actually I don't even remember.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, maybe if I really, worked at it, I could remember, but what I do remember, which was unforgettable, because what happened was, I didn't know how to break down the scene. He had me come in and read with him, and I was horrible. I felt so awkward, and the character, when I read it, he spoke differently. He didn't speak normal, just like Bruce Leroy. He spoke like without contraction. So when I was looking at the sides, I didn't know how to do it.
You didn't know how to interpret it.
I didn't know anything about it, And then he looked at me like, okay, another guy doesn't know what he's doing. Out the door. And I was crushed because it was, I guess, about a week or two that I was getting all excited about it, thinking that they just wanted me to see me do a backflip and kick in the air, and that's not what they wanted. They wanted to see if you can hold, because you're the lead, you're going to have to be able to hold the whole film.
Of course.
So what happened was, is an interesting story. My father's Italian, and he's a typical New York. He's not typical, but he is a New Yorker, and they're kind of aggressive. And my father called me, and my best friend at the time, it was named Richie. He said, "Listen, we got a job for you guys to do, but it's in Florida," and it was getting cold in New York, and we were like happy, at least we get to go hang out in Miami, meet girls, and have a great time.
It's Miami.
Yes, exactly. So.
And this is what year was this?
1984.
Okay.
84. Yeah, the winter.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And then what happened was my father at the time was selling different lame clothing, which is the shiny clothing. He was selling these different stores back then, and he had an account in Florida. So he said, well, while he's doing that out there, we could be cleaning roofs and making money, me and my friend. So we drove down there. And on the way down there,
long drive.
It's a long drive, but my father wanted to have the van with all this merchandise.
Yeah.
So what happened on the way down there, my father said, "Hey, why don't you grab those, grab that, you still have it?" I said, "Yeah, I kept it, And the sides. So he had, my father was driving, my friend was here, and I was sitting there. And I didn't want him to work with me because my father had some acting experience, and he was a singer when he was young. And I didn't want him to work with me because I know how he is.
Wow. What, he was too hard, like too aggressive?
He was doing this. He said, "All right, let's see how you do it." And I was doing it horrible. And he whacked me in the back of my head and said, "Hey, what are you kidding me? Come on, do it like this."
Yeah.
So the whole ride over there, I was miserable, and my friend was in the middle. And by the time we got out of the car, the van, basically, he said, I told my friend, I said, "Look, I don't even want this part anymore." And he said, "If there's a God on earth, that role was written for."
Oh my goodness.
And then that was what kind of woke me up a little bit to not give up, and really, and then when I went back there, I blew them away. That was it.
So you went back for a second. They called you back?
No,
or?
I walked in, I knocked on the door.
Okay, so you said, "I'm going again."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then when you finally got the part,
I mean, you're excited,
Like, this was your first huge acting role.
I never acted before in TV or films or anything like that.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this movie, for me, growing up as a little girl, watching, I mean, I can speak for a lot of grown women to this day.
Right.
They're in love with you. They're in love with that character, should I say.
Thank you.
So do you find it hard for people, when they see you and meet you, to differentiate between you as the actor, past Bruce Leroy, and then Bruce Leroy still stuck in The Last Dragon?
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. The bottom line is you're walking around 30 years after a film was made, and people are giving you great energy, and they're giving you great energy for, there is some things about me that are very much like Bruce Leroy, and some things aren't. The fact that people and strangers are giving you such great energy, you just suck it all up and take it in, and you look at it with grace, and you're happy and thankful for that. And they learn more about you as you through your other work and through this interview, different things like that, and they measure who you are from that as well. So but I am still Bruce Leroy too.
I love it. So after the movie happened, you started to do your own independent things, right?
Well, what happened was I was a little bit stuck in a contract with Motown, and there was some things going on that weren't working out with not necessarily Barry Gordy, but his company and people that worked there, and negotiating a contract that I was advised not to go ahead and work on any of these, from my attorney, because it just wasn't the right type of contract. And they took it the wrong way, and I just was following the advice of my attorney, and then I was on my own. And on my own, I kind of I was the type of young man that needed to learn things on my own. So I was on, just like Bruce Leroy, it was like kicked out in the world on my own and learning to make my own way, which was not very easy. However, I knew that you know, through the martial arts, there's a sense of integrity that you have and a sense of discipline. And you know, I just stayed with that. I stayed with that. I said, okay, look, you have a craft called acting, you have a craft called martial arts, you have to work hard. And the thing that I didn't know was the craft of Hollywood. And I had to learn that the hard way. But at the end of the day, I took care of my health, and here I am today.
Well, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes when you see these movies that you love, and then you kind of meet someone, and there's kind of like life catches up with them, and they look like they haven't been taking care of themselves, but you still have that glow.
Right, thank you. You do too.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the thing is, you know, that I always had a vision of coming back and doing some really great work. I've written some scripts, and I've got some projects that are in the works, and
directing
it's constantly,
as well, right?
Sure. Writing, directing, and producing. And the thing is, you know, you just have to keep your eye on the prize and you know, learn to make it happen. And I'm learning more every day. And we have the 30th anniversary of The Last Dragon. Demetrius Angelo, who has a wonderful film festival in New York City, he just started last year, and he invited people like old school cats like Fred the Hammer Williamson, Ron Van Cleef from the Black Dragon, and other great martial artists. And it kind of puts more attention on female action stars and independent action filmmakers, as well as Latino, Black, and Asian, and to give them a little shine.
I love it.
So he called me and said, listen, you know, The Last Dragon, everybody keeps talking about that, and I'm a big fan of The Last Dragon. He said, look, I would really like to get together and formulate a Last Dragon 30th